All right, going to talk about South Carolina quarterback LaNorris Sellers. Talk about keys for success against Vanderbilt this upcoming week. We'll talk about Vandy's defense, then we'll talk about Sellers, and then we'll look at some film from Sellers. Look at the type of throws that I think Sellers is going to have to make to beat Vanderbilt. And the main theme of the game and breaking this down is you don't want to – what happened to A&M the past 2 weeks, you don't want to happen to you, right? A&M had a huge win at home. Then they come to y'all on the road. They're a 2.5-point favorite, 3-point favorites, and y'all end up kicking their tail. And now you have a huge win at home against A&M. Then y'all go on the road and y'all are a 2.5, 3, something like that favorite against Vanderbilt. So you want to avoid the same thing that happened to A&M happening to y'all. So let's talk about Vandy's defense real quick, and then we'll look at Sellers, look at the keys for success, and look at some film, some clips of Sellers. And Vandy's defense, they're not a great defense by any means, but they're a middle-of-the-pack SEC defense. They do a few things well, and something that they do is they kind of shift and change their identity depending on who they are playing, and what quarterback they're going up against. So let's kind of go in reverse order and look at each SEC team they played and talk about them real quickly. So against Auburn, only gave up 7 points. Now, Auburn's offense is not very good by any means, but you only give up 7 points. And there were plays to be made by Auburn's offense that they just didn't make. They blitzed Auburn 32% of Peyton Thorne's dropbacks. Against Texas, gave up 27 points, but you did cause 2 interceptions, and you blitzed Quinn Ewers 52% of his dropback. So they blitzed Quinn more than any other SEC quarterback by far. Go against Kentucky, you only give up 13 points, and you only blitz Kentucky's quarterback 22% of the dropbacks. Against Bama, and this is where I think it's the most comparable because of Jalen Milroe and LaNorris Sellers both being excellent runners. Against Bama, they gave up 35 points, but they only blitzed Milroe 18% of his dropbacks. And my assumption is that's going to be, somewhere between that 18 to 28% blitzing of Sellers' dropbacks for a few reasons. One, Sellers did really good against the blitz. We're going to talk about that in a second. He did really good against the blitz against Texas A&M. And two, the threat of him running the ball. Miller was able to have success whenever they blitz him, and Sellers is potentially going to be able to have success when blitzed, right? That's why you want to have that spy and not waste that guy going blitz. Against Mizzou, Vandy gave up 30 points in overtime and blitzed 31% of the time. So they changed their identity depending on who they're playing. They're top 6 SEC defense as it comes to sacks. They're top 7 defense as it comes to interceptions. Again, middle of the package, but they do some things well. So if you're Sellers, if you're South Carolina, how are you going to avoid kind of losing against Vanderbilt? And again, this is a good Vanderbilt team. This isn't the Vanderbilt of the past few years per se, right? A good Vanderbilt team you're going up against. So Sellers, he's improving each game, improving each week, and you love seeing his development. But there's 3 main keys in going up against Vanderbilt this weekend. Key number 1, I think there are potential for some explosive plays. Vandy's defense is noticeably better against the run than they are against the pass, so I do think there's some potential for some explosive plays, and I want to use play action to set up the deep ball. So far, all of Sellers' interceptions, I think he has 4, have been whenever they've done straight drop-back passes and not have utilized play action. Only 25% of Sellers' throws this season has been off play action. So I want to utilize play action a bit more, try to get the defense out of position, especially if you can get Sanders rolling on the ground. Key number 2, be creative with Sellers as far as like some creative pass plays to get the defense out of position. We're going to see that in film here in a second. We're going to watch in a second. But get some creative plays like the touchdown, the first touchdown pass against A&M this week. We're going to look at that was a creative play to get the defense out of position. It was a nice ball by Sellers. Not similar to play action, but still kind of creative. Key number 3, be prepared for the blitz on passing downs. Again, I don't think they're going to blitz nearly as much as what A&M tried to do or what they did or what Vanderbilt did against Quinn Ewers. I think it's going to be more of that Jalen Milroe type blitzing. But be prepared on passing downs, but also, like we said, I don't know if they're going to blitz that much, so you want to be able to complete passes whenever they drop 7 or 8. Now, so far, Sellers has been much better against the blitz. He has 4 touchdowns, only 1 pick, and his yards per attempt are 8.7 against the blitz this season. Whenever the defenses drop 7 or 8, he's 3 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, yards per attempt only 6.1. Now, he has improved, but you still want to make sure you're able to complete passes and be consistent whenever they're dropping 7 or 8, because they may do that to you. They may drop 7 or 8 and say, hey, keep everything in front, try to beat us. That may be the approach, right? With that said, I do think there's some deep ball opportunities, and I do think there's some opportunities for Sellers and South Carolina's offense. So let's go ahead and look at a few clips of Sellers and his broadcast footage. I do apologize. We got to slow it down, but we've got like 5 or 6 plays we're going to watch that do a good job demonstrating the type of plays I think Sellers is going to have to make to beat Vanderbilt. Let's go ahead and watch the film.
All right, so let's go ahead and check out some of Sellers' throws I think he's going to have to make to beat Vanderbilt. Again, I think Vanderbilt's a good team. They're middle of the pack, underrated defense in the SEC. So these first two clips, these are going to be some creative clips, some creative plays, especially in the backfield, to try to get the defense out of position. They both end up being touchdowns, I believe. So this is the first touchdown pass against A&M. It's to the tight end, Joshua Simon, right? I'm not mistaken. Man, he's come on huge as of late. But no, it's a little play action. Then it's a fake speed option this way just to get the defense out of position. And they slide the tight end out this way. But look at the A&M's defense you got. It's a good throw with pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? That's 7, 8? Yeah, 8 defenders all within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. And 7 of those guys on the other side of the field where the pass is going. So I think some creative plays like this to get the defense out of position can potentially have some success against Vanderbilt. If you go back and watch even against Auburn, like Auburn moved the ball at times well, they just couldn't finish drives. But I think you can get Vanderbilt's defense out of position at times, especially with them being better against their run game. You can use that to your advantage. Okay, another clip. This is against Oklahoma. It's a similar play. I'll move myself. It's a little play action, fake speed option this way. Again, it gets the defense creeping, You have all these guys defending against the run. He's defending against the option and against Sellers and against the pass, and Sellers is able to hit a nice touchdown, I think, to Simon again. But again, it's play action, yes, but it is a creative play by the OC and by South Carolina to get the defense out of position. So I think some creative plays like this to hit on some deep, explosive passes. Like I said, I do think there's going to be some opportunities for some explosive deep balls that Sellers has been hitting a little bit more of as of late. Okay, key number 2. We talked about him, or key number 3, talked about him having success when they blitz, but also having success when they drop 7 or 8. So they only bring in 4, right? So they're not blitzing. OU's dropping 7 here. And we talked about how Sellers has been better against the blitz. But just because he's been better against the blitz doesn't mean he hasn't had success when they've dropped 7 or 8. He's just struggled a bit more, but the potential is there. So I do think Vandy's going to drop 7 or 8 more when they blitz. So you're going to have some success. This is a good job of Sellers, middle of the field, only bringing 4. Finding his open receiver when OU is dropping 7, hitting him in the hole there, and getting a first down. So I think Sellers is going to have to make these type of throws more times than not against Vandy's defense. But at the same time, I do think Vandy will blitz strategically, especially on passing downs. This is a 2nd and 6, yes, but only 36 seconds left in the half. So this is definitely considered a passing down here. A&M blitzes here. This is one of my favorite throws from Sellers against A&M. We've talked about this on the recap video, where that little slant route, the receiver got hurt. I hope he's okay. I haven't seen anything since, but it's a good job by Sellers. Again, he's been better against the blitz. Was it 4? Yeah, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns to only 1 pick against the blitz, I believe. I hate seeing that, against the blitz. But yards per attempt, 2.5 yards more against the blitz than... Oh, am I showing this twice? Okay, I apologize. This is from the beginning of the video. Let me go ahead and move this. Okay, last things that we want to see. I still want to see some play action. Still want to see some half design rollouts. And we see this is the game-winning touchdown. Not the game-winning touchdown, but the touchdown that put them up by 17. To Simon against A&M. A little half roll. Boom. Dump it off. He's able to break a tackle. So I think these type of throws can work as well. Now, Vanderbilt has seen this. This is a play that they've done often. If you go back and watch South Carolina film, they have these little play action half roll dump offs that they've done often. So Vanderbilt's going to be ready for that, but I still think to get Sellers comfortable, to kind of get the offense rolling, I do think it's still a good type of play to have. I had one other clip that I guess I forgot to put in here, but it was a similar play that we saw. It's a similar play of this against LSU, one of their first plays of the game, South Carolina fans, if y'all remember. So Gamecock fans, I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts. What do you want to see from Sellers against Vanderbilt? What do you think the keys are for success for him? Again, I think it's some creative throws to get defense out of position. I think it is utilizing play action to take some deep shots. Similar keys right there. And then playing well and completing passes whenever they drop 7 or 8, and also being ready for some strategic blitzes on passing down. So Gamecock fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you want to see from him. As always, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're a big SEC quarterback hub, so please consider subscribing, like, share, all that stuff. It helps us grow. We'll see you next time. Peace.